Hello and welcome back to my channel, the Decker Diaries. Nice to see you again. It's been a little while. We've been in Australia, we've been in lockdown in Sydney in particular, and haven't been able to do much lately. So I'm going to throw a video together today for those people who are just getting into flying drones, and in particular the Seafly Faith 2, which is a fantastic drone. It's well priced, it's built well, it's strong, it's got lots of features, and it's a drone I highly recommend. So I'm going to show you how we set it up, how it comes, how we set it up, and how we prepare it for flight and what we need to do. So without waiting any further, my name's Derek. Don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because that will really help me produce more of these videos. So thanks again. Okay, so here it is. This is the Seafly Faith 2, which I actually acquired through RC Going, which I highly recommend. They're very, very good, and they're competitively priced, and their service is very good, and their delivery was extremely good. So I highly recommend them. So this is how it comes. It does have a cardboard box around it that you can keep it in, and also a plastic case. I store this in a different container, so at the moment it's just in the polystyrene, but basically this is how it comes, and we will take out the drone in here, and you can see it's very, very sized well. And here you can see we have one battery, two batteries, a battery charger, and in here we have the controller, put down there, and that's really it. You'll have some cables as well, which I have stored in another location at the moment. But the first thing to do with the controller is attach the joysticks. When you get it, actually the joysticks are already attached, but I've actually attached a little bracket on the back, so it allows me to attach it to my mountain bike, and that takes up a little bit more space in the container. So to get it in the container, I need to remove the joysticks. But there is another advantage in these joysticks, is that if they ever break, you can replace them, which is a really good thing. I've had in the past where I've broken one and had to get a whole new controller, which is an absolute pain, especially the time you have to wait to get one. So we screw them on, and that's the controller pretty much ready to go. So first of all, the batteries. This is how they come. They come with a charger. So simply to charge, we have some connections there, we slide that on to the charging base. We connect the charging base via the USB cable to your power point that comes with the product, and then that will charge, and when it charges it will show you a green light on the back, and you can see that particular battery showing you the charge that there's only one green light left, so that battery is pretty much well flat, and as it charges up, the green lights will grow up until 4 green lights when it's fully charged. I'm not going to use this battery because it's almost flat, so let's have a look at the next one, and we press that. And you can see there we've got pretty much three and a half lights, so that battery is good to go. So all we need to do firstly, before we do anything, is install the battery. It's quite simple. You've got a connection here. We just put the battery in, push it closed until it clicks, and that's the battery in, ready to go, and that is the back of the drone. The front of the drone is quite easy to recognize. It's because it has the lights on the front. And the first thing you also have to do is you have to remove the gimbal cover. Okay, so it's very important we remember to move that gimbal cover. Once we remove that gimbal cover, when we do start powering this on for the first time, we need to leave it for at least 30 seconds so that that gimbal can calibrate itself. Alright, so we have the drone. What we'll do now is we'll open up the arms, the control arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're basically ready to go. Very simple, very easy. So the battery, it does take about 5 hours to charge from dead flat, so it takes a long time, so I highly recommend having a second or third battery. But the benefit of this particular drone is that the battery will last flight time of around 35 minutes, which is extraordinary for a drone of this price, 35 minutes. So with 2 batteries, which is what I have, I get over an hour's worth of flight time, which is generally pretty good. So, so very good. I recommend 2, possibly 3 batteries, but that's the drone. On the controller side of things, this is the controller. You would also, when you open up your antennas like this, you'll see that there is a USB connection in here as well. You connect that to your PowerPoint. You will get lights that come on. You'll see the lights there that show you the level of charge. Again, 4 lights is fully charged, 1 light is it's almost dead. So you can see that is fairly well charged up. You plug that in, and then you will see as it's charging, those lights will turn on as it charges up further until you get full 4 solid green lights, and then you know it's fully charged and ready to go. So at the moment this controller is ready to go right now, which is fantastic. Just looking at the controller, you have a little switch here. It's called the GPS switch. If you have it in the GPS mode, which is off to the right side, this side here, it will search for GPS signals and acquire them. If you have it in the other mode, which really is the indoor mode, I would call it, then it won't be looking for GPS signals. And when you're in the indoor mode, you'll have a red light come up over this side. If you're in the GPS mode, you'll have a green light come up on this side. I'm indoors at the moment, so I'll probably use the indoor mode. So when I do turn it on, we should get the red light. We have our joysticks, which feel very nice, very easy to use, very sensitive, which are really good. We have over here the power on off button. Over here we have the return to home button, and then on the back side we have the button for taking photographs, and this side is the button for taking videos. So it's a very simple controller. There's not too much you can go wrong. The only other thing that you need to know about is the arms that open up. This is to hold either your iPhone or your Samsung or your smartphone, and you can put it in there, and it has arms over here that open up to hold it in place. I use an Android, which I'll be showing you in a minute. So that's really the controller, and that controller is ready to go. The drone is ready to go, and let's move on to the next stage. Okay, so the next point that we need to do is we need to download the CFly app. Now, with your documentation that you get with your new CFly, there will be a barcode that you can zoom in on, and that will actually take you to the download site for the app, and then just go ahead and download it. And in here you will see I've got my you've got my CFly Faith app just here, which if I click on it, takes you into this screen here, and this screen here basically says DF808 not connected. It gives you some safety information here. Just go OK to that. And down here it says Wi-Fi connection errors because it has not yet connected to Wi-Fi. So probably we should start powering things up in a moment so that we can connect to Wi-Fi. And then, but if you don't want to connect to Wi-Fi and you just want to have a look at the interface, you can go into interface overview, and that will connect to it and allow you to have a look at some of the settings without actually being connected. But I'm actually going to go in and connect directly to the drone, which is just beneath us here, and I'll show you how that goes. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is switch on the drone, simply pressing the button at the back here. It beeps and we'll get some lights flashing. The second thing we need to do is power on the controller. Just hold it down until the 4 lights go on, which are your battery indication, and over here the red lights come on to show you that we're in indoor mode at the moment. What's happening right now is you'll have a blue light flashing, which we can see there. That blue light is now trying to connect to the controller. When it has actually connected to the controller, it will start flashing green. Okay, now we can see that the light has turned green. It is flashing green. And if we were in the outdoor mode, in the GPS mode, via the switch down here, it would then try to be locking on to your GPS, and you would have your blue lights flashing underneath the rear arms. And then once it has connected to enough GPS modes, it will turn solid green. In this instance, it will not turn solid green because we are in indoor mode. So we have connected, we are ready to go now, but before we do, we need to connect wirelessly, and I'll show you how we do that. So I'm in my phone at the moment. I've gone into my Wi-Fi settings. Down here what we're looking for is a mode which is called ground-2E8004, or similar to that. That will then, if we click on that, we are now connecting to the controller via Wi-Fi. It says it's checking the quality, and then it says connected without internet, which is absolutely exactly what we want. We can get back out of this now. We can go back into our app, and now we just wait for a second. Okay. It says, in here it says, flight equipment bound successfully. I'm sorry we're on sideways here, but when we go into the actual app, it'll actually twist around the other way. This is just the way it starts off at. It says we're connecting. We go OK. It gives you some safety warnings. We go OK. And we are now connected. It says here connected up in this corner here, and over here it says start flying. So we hit start flying. We are now in the mode, and we can see the vision we have from the drone camera. This is the picture from the drone. In here. We're ready to go. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We have over here the home button. We have the GPS signal to tell us how many GPSs we connect to, and in this case there is no GPSs because we're in indoor mode. It tells us the battery level of the drone. In the green bar, it says ready to go in altitude mode, which is not GPS mode. Altitude mode is indoor mode. So it's basically it's happy to go with everything. It tells us our height, our distance. It tells us down here we can go into, it tells us, it has a little map here, a Google map, where it'll actually show you GPS coordinates, and we have an automatic takeoff button here, which is automatic takeoff and automatic landing. We press that, and it will fire up and automatically raise to probably about 2 meters. I won't use that indoors. And that's also for landing too. So you can press that and it will also land. Underneath that is really the home button, which is this one here. The home button, and that's return to home. So if you're flying out a large distance and you lose control, or the battery goes flat, or whatever happens, you hit that and it will automatically return to home and land pretty much close on to where it took off from. The only thing you need to be aware of is that this drone does not have obstacle avoidance, so you need to make sure that there are no trees between you and the drone. This drone does have a flight distance of 3 to 5 kilometers. They quote 5 kilometers. I'm pretty confident it can do 3.5 kilometers. I've never taken it past 3.5, but it's been very reliable, and I haven't lost connection at 3 kilometers. So it's very, very good in regards to its connectivity, both from the camera's perspective and from the controller's perspective. Okay, over here in this box here, we have some other settings. We can go into beginner mode, which basically puts height limits on it. It puts means that you can only go within a 30 meter radius point, and the speed of the aircraft will be slow. You can set the height limit. Obviously, there's laws around height limit, and the maximum height is 120 meters. When you first get this, it'll be set to 30. I've got mine set to the highest at 120. Down the bottom, you've got the speed mode. I have it in the normal mode, which is a good mode for pretty much everything. You've got sport mode, where the drone will fly a lot faster, and you have C mode, which is slow mode. So if you're taking some slow video footage, slow mode is pretty good as well. If you're in S mode, you'll have trouble taking video images. So if you want to take good video and photographs, you're better off being in the N mode. Here we go down a bit further. We have aircraft and app binding. You can see that it's bound, the green light is on. And if we need to do a calibration, there's a horizontal calibration and a compass calibration. If I clicked on compass calibration, basically it'll do it straight away, and when it's done, it'll tell you it's done. With the horizontal calibration, it'll tell you to pick up the drone, turn it while it's horizontal, turn it a full 360 degrees. It'll tell you when it's calibrated, and then it'll tell you to turn it on its end and do another 360 degrees in the vertical position, and it'll tell you when it's calibrated. And then pretty much you're ready to start flying. We also have battery, which tells us the voltage and the percentage. We also have here a low power alarm, which tells us that when your battery is going low, it will give you a warning on your screen, and you'll know you need to bring it back. You can set that. I've got it set at 10% at the moment. What's happening there is, because we haven't done anything, the drone is about to turn itself off. So let's just have a look. Okay, this screen here is, we go down, we go into version information, and this will tell you the application version, the flight control version, the relay version, remote control version, image version, and firmware version. So you need to check all of those, and you may need to update your firmware to get the very latest drivers and controls. So we hit return. We'll get out of that now, and we can go into our next setting, which is the item down here. And here we can adjust all of the settings. We can adjust the video resolution. You can see at the moment in green it says 4K 30 frames per second as the default. We do have the choice of 2.7, 1080 and 720, 60 frames per minute. Exposure, we can set the exposure. I just have that set on the default values, but if we're in a very a very dark day, we can actually increase the exposure to get more light into the video. We can adjust the white balance, but most times you'll probably never need to adjust the white balance. There's some other things. You can put video watermarks on if you want a date and time stamp on the video, which I don't use. Same with a photo watermark. And down here, rather than video, you can actually set the photo resolution. I've got it set to 520 by 3840, which is 4K. Your ISO, again, that's the speed. You can set it to default, which I do, or you can set it manually if you need to. You can set the view. You can either have it wide view, medium view, or narrow view. You can actually change the scene mode if you want, whether it's flash, it's night, whether it's sports, whether it's landscape, portrait, or sunset, to make things a bit easier to get the best results. And you can even put effect modes on it, such as art, sepia, negative, black and white, vivid, 70s film. There's a whole range of settings in there. So you can see all the camera settings are all highly adjustable. Back to the main screen. We have a little bar here. That little bar is a zoom bar. You can see I can zoom in or zoom out, which works in flight. This top one here is whether you're in video mode or photographic mode. To start whatever mode you're in, you simply press the red button and off we go. If you want to look at the photographs that you've actually taken, there is a button down there that will take you into the screen where you've taken them. So that's pretty much it. So let's just, I want to fire up the drone. I simply pull both arms back. And if I don't do anything, it will immediately turn itself off. Very safe thing. There you go. There it is. We just took off. What I will do now is move outside to give you some more visuals. Okay, so I've moved outside. And I've just switched over to GPS mode, and I'm going to start the camera recording now. So we are actually now recording. We'll fire up the drone. We have 5 GPS signals at the moment. It's actually still acquiring GPSs. We need probably 10. So I might just leave it for a minute until we've got a little bit more GPS coverage. Okay, so I've changed it to GPS mode. You'll notice on the drone, if you can see it there, the light has gone solid green, which means I have enough satellite signals. Currently it's 7. It's a bit lower than what I'd like it to be, but it is what it is. I've got the camera set. So now we'll simply we'll take off. It is very windy out here this afternoon, so there's a bit of movement, but it's not too bad considering the amount of wind. Now I can alter the angle of the camera. There's a wheel on the left hand side here. I can rotate the camera down or up. So that's me playing around with all that movement. It's not hovering, I'm moving it backwards and forwards and sideways. Small courtyard, lots of wind, but I'm still managing to control it. So we'll land. Here we are. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it very useful. Again, thank you for watching. I will finish off now with just some videos I've taken from the drone, just in free flight. I hope you enjoyed. I'll put a little bit of music with it. And again, thank you for visiting my channel. Thank you for thumbs up, and thank you for subscribing if you do. And I really appreciate your time looking at these and supporting me. And I look forward to the next time. But in the meantime, enjoy the footage. Thank you again. you.